So I got a couple of requests for this. So let's talk imposition part 2. I'm going to try to flesh out a how to do imposition.
Necronomicon is coming.
So I have the cats swarmed around me because we sprayed catnip on the futon here. So we'll see how funny it gets because they also tend to pick a fight a little bit when they're on catnip because they get a little crazed. So imposition, like I said in the first video, which I'm not sure how long ago I put it up because I've been actually doing regular scheduled videos, but this one should be the first Friday in April, I think, when it comes out, even though I'm doing it kind of at the beginning of March. So imposition, first off, is being able to visualize things outside of your mind, being able to visualize things out in front of you, which helps with energy manipulation, trying to get the other cat from moving the screen around. Um, Imposition helps with energy manipulation during circle casting and charging objects and things like that. So first off, and I'm going to stress this again, because everyone's always like, oh, I want to do the cool thing. You know, whenever somebody picks up a pagan book or even the Necro or any kind of grimoire or whatever, they always jump to the back pages because they want to get to the fun part first. So let me stress, first off, that imposition requires a lot of practice with visualization to where you can daydream like that with meditation, or even if you're just zoning out. Remember, if you're good at daydreaming, then you're good for visualization. But all this stuff requires regular practice. If you fall back with practice on anything, then it's like, you know, you used to be really good at working out and you're beefed out, and then when you don't work out anymore, your muscles kind of atrophy a little bit. So we got to work our brain muscles. Reese's playing with a roll of toilet paper because she's stoked up on catnip. Great. Love it. Anywho, let me just readjust myself here a little bit. So, when we are trying to practice imposition, what I would do is visualize an idea of what you want first. Now that means in your mind. Like if you're going to cast a circle, try doing that when you're meditating in a visualization space, in your astral construct space first. So you get an idea of what it looks like, you get an idea of what it feels like. This means, you know, in your mind, you can practice a ritual first. So you can cast a circle in visualization. That way it's super easy to see the colors or whatever your visualization might be. In some of my other, I think in my circle casting video that I did a while back, I mentioned that like one of my friends, when she visualized a circle, it was more like a curtain. Me myself, I use like energy, so I see, you know, kind of, it's almost like a fog that's colored, that rises out of my implement and then rises out of the floor when I cast it. So you want to practice this stuff in visualization space first, in meditation, and then when you are in your ritual space, you can close your eyes at first to remind yourself of the idea, and then you can hold your implement out. And sometimes what helps right off the get-go, and because this comes so easy for me, it's a little bit difficult to digest it, to share it with others, so I'm going to try here. But what I think would help is, because you can see it with your mind's eye with your eyes closed, you can try blinking several times, or closing your eyes at first and seeing it, and then opening your eyes and looking. You know, when you close your eyes, see the space you're working with and what you want the energy to feel like and to look like, and then you open your eyes. And it might even help to blink rapidly so you have that sensation of being able to see it with your mind's eye and then with your regular eyes. Or, you know, when you can kind of zone your eyes out and unfocus them, that kind of activates your inner senses a little bit. Because whenever we zone out, we tend to just kind of zone out, and then our brains are working. Think about how when you daydream, if you're just staring out a window and you start to see stuff, your eyes are relaxed, your eyes are zoned out. So try that. And you can kind of picture it. Like I said, the rapid blinking also helps because you're basically tricking your mind to see what's inside on the outside. And it also just requires a lot of focus. Some things that I would also try when it comes to imposition would be like another exercise I just thought of is, you know what it, like, pick a candle, right? Like one of those tea candles or whatever, and stare at it, light it, see what the flame looks like, put the flame out. You just saw what the flame looked like. Zone your eyes out towards where the flame would be, and see what that flame is. Maybe flicker your eyes a little bit, and close your eyes and see it, and then open your eyes, and you might be able to get an idea of what the flame looks like on top of the candle, and with enough practice and focus, you can see what that looks like. This all kind of relies on memory, and you can translate these things into working anything that you want. Remember, everything starts from like the astral plane to the mental plane to the physical plane, going from inside out. So when we practice things in visualization space, and then we can translate it to our physical space. So, I remember back when I first got into paganism, it would be about 10 years ago at this point. When I was first learning about it, one of my first questions was like, energy, can you actually really see it? And the person that I was asking wasn't exactly that proficient in any of the stuff that I'm proficient at now. So I was essentially a noob asking a noob. But as I came to read all of my books, and I still got to do a video on what my library looks like and go through some of those videos, go through some of those books for you, to get an idea of what you guys can read if you're beginners. But, she was like, no, you can't really see it. Well, it turns out you can see it through the idea of imposition. So practice it with visualization and with the rapid eye blinking and closing your eyes and seeing it and opening your eyes and seeing the same thing. You really got to, this is all about tricking your mind. Remember, magic is a psychological mechanism, at least to me it is. We're playing with our minds here and working with these senses that are kind of untapped. We all have our 5 senses that we're good at, but those extra senses need a little bit more of a mental exercise to get working. That's how we can feel energy. That's how we can have psychic impressions. That's how we can visualize and manipulate energy. Trying to think if there's anything else that would go along with imposition. But physical anchors help with the idea of imposition, which is why I said I think in the first imposition video or other ones, where when you cast a circle first, you use flour or salt, and those can be anchors to changing the color of those things in your mind's eye or seeing that energy. So, for example, let me just kind of give an idea of how imposition really works. So if I had somebody else in the room, maybe watching or attending my ritual just to see how it goes, like I did with the gate walking. My fiance actually watched me do the gate walking first before she even went through it, just to get an idea of how the process was. So all of those visualizations that I had when I was doing invocations and when I was casting the circle and stuff, I saw those things because that was my own personal energy. Did she see those things? No. Can you get strong enough with your ability to make impressions and manipulate energy to the point that other people can see them? I would like to say yes. However, I don't exactly have any proof for that. I make these videos off of all of my own personal experiences. So have I been able to do things where other people can, quote unquote, see them with energy? I honestly don't think so, but the point is that magic is highly personal to every person. So whatever works for me might not work for you. What my truth is about my experiences, you may never be able to understand or experience, because that's what happened to me. So what I'm trying to get at here is, when I cast a circle and I saw it, she might not have necessarily seen the same thing. When I invoked deities, or when I charge a sigil and I see that sigil kind of light up or sparkle, I see that. Another person sitting in the room might be watching me. They might not see the same thing. Now, that could be that, A, I might not be that strong at it. B, their senses might not be opened and in tune enough to see it. Or C, what my magic is goes on with me, and it's not necessarily for anybody else's eyes or other senses, but mine. Does that make sense to you guys? So, like I said, practice with other objects, with seeing things in your mind's eye, and switching between your eyes and your mind's eye through closing your eyes a little bit, then opening them, with seeing what you want and then looking at it and trying to create that what you saw in your mind out here with unfocused eyes. Try the rapid blinking, along with candles being lit and unlit. I'm trying to think of anything that has a simple little switch to it that you can see in your mind's eye and then switch it over. So you could even have mundane things. You could be looking at a door lock. When it's unlocked, at least for mine, when my doors are unlocked, the little knob thing is pointing straight up. When it's locked, it's pointing like this. I could I could see it unlocked. I could close my eyes and focus on it to see it in the lock position, and then when I open my eyes, I can actually impress what I saw in here on there, and I can see it locked. What would I need to use that for? I'm not entirely sure, but it's a practice. It's one of those things to train your mind with it. If you are looking at, I'm trying to think if there's any other examples. I'm staring around my room trying to think of things. Oh, like I have these Christmas lights hanging. I know exactly what they look like when it's on and when it's off. So if I focus hard enough, I know that like these ones over here, I think they glow like bluish, right? So I can close my eyes and see that they glow blue, and then when I open my eyes, I see that they're not, so I close my eyes again and I see that they're blue, and when I open my eyes, in my mind's eye, and kind of impressing on it, to where I can see it more when I'm like slowly blinking, I can see that they are glowing blue now. So that's an example. The ones behind me I think are actually purple. I think these ones up here, and trying to get my angle right, these ones up here, these are blue too. Cool Christmas light setup. I think I had another idea, but I lost it. That kind of thing always happens. But try to see those things with that little bit of a switch that you can practice with. This is like training wheels. It's not necessarily something that you would use in ritual, but you're stretching that muscle. Like when we go to the weight room or a gym to build our muscles up, we're working with free weights, hand weights, whatever, bench presses, whatever. In our real life, when we're trying to exercise and lift heavy things, we're not always lifting weights, are we? We're lifting boxes. But in our workout, we're using different implements to gain that strength. So I hope that that analogy works. I think I might have fleshed this out enough, given a bunch of examples and different ways of going about it. So let me know and drop it in the comments. Check out all of my other videos for Necronomicon mechanics and general magic stuff. And like and subscribe and stuff, and check out my little end of the video kind of little end screen thingy that I've been able to make lately. Let me know any things that you guys might have to say on this, or if you want me to flesh it out a little bit more. I can try to think of an imposition number 3 if I can cook up anything else. And good hunting.